Hey, I'm live. First shot. Hey, what is up, everybody? Woohoo! Wait, audio's good? Everything's good? Audio? Check, check, Kurt? There's no way it worked the first time. That's why I'm like, wait. If I look brighter, I think it's because I changed all the lights in here. Because, as you know, I've done lots of construction in my studio with my pallet walls. I got built-in shelves I'm doing right now. I have a basement window over here that's right in the middle at the top, anyways, of the green wall that we use. That's getting an insert put in it, painted green. So that way I don't have to have that big silly screen hanging. And I moved the lights closer to the green wall in order to illuminate things. Jamie, I don't know, your house, my house, where you want to meet up? We'll go find them together. Please be kind. Everybody, we're a respectful crew in here. Welcome. If you've never been to Bigfoot Banter with Richie B, I welcome you in. We are not just a channel. We're actually a community of a lot of people that you'll see on the side that I love and respect. And we have respectful conversation about something that the world tells us doesn't exist. So, and scientifically, I guess it doesn't. Yeah, right. But anyways, we're going to discuss all that stuff. So, and when you're in here, we like to put everything out to you guys, right? It's your podcast too. When we're live in the woods, it's your investigation too. So we like to have everybody interactively enjoy. Tonight, I want to do something a little bit different. That's something that, thanks to Hoot, Brandy, D Hoop, Kurt, Tidbits, that's Carlozzi, Curious, Ernie, my man, Jamie, welcome. Everybody welcome in. What I want to do tonight is not something that, I guess when I go on shows, I talk about it, right? Because they ask you, how'd you get into this, you know? But it's something that I always had trouble talking about. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the rational side of my brain still fights what I kind of went through, the things that I put together in order to get to where I am today. But like, for instance, what we're going to share tonight, I'm going to start right out with it, is my first gift. But first, tonight at 9:00, we're sitting down. I just posted it. Wojo and I will be guests on a panel on, where am I? It's called Insight into the Bigfoot World on YouTube with Daniel Benoit. And it's the ECBRO YouTube channel, the Bigfoot Zone. Actually, it's the Bigfoot Zone channel by ECBRO. So 9 p.m. Eastern time, Mojo and I will be a part of a panel. I don't know. I know a couple of the panel members. There's two I'm not aware of, one I heard of. So I just want to let you guys know that. And also, anything that I do here will be uploaded to Dark Realm TV, where Phil lives. Get over to Dark Realm TV. It's on every Roku television. Whoa, you're supposed to be taking a nap, bro. Every television, Roku television, every Amazon Fire Stick, worldwide, everywhere. So check us out over there. I think it's like $4.99 a month, and you get all kinds of different perks and gifts. And as far as gifts being like other paranormal researchers even out there doing live like we do in the woods. Media Squatch, we're over on the app. Get it on your phone for free. Media Squatch, another one, has all kinds of different things in there. It's not just us. It's there's a couple of the Bigfoot shows, not a lot. But there is a lot of different like cryptids and different radio talk and things like that. And I actually just uploaded our radio channel. Bigfoot Banter, Richie B, yes, is going to have its own global and worldwide is the same thing, Richard. Oh, okay, thanks. Radio channel 24/7, 365. So I might be reaching out to some people I know on the side here that might want to have a radio show, right? And then, of course, capital H, capital L, capital O, H-Low Media, H-Low Outdoors. Check us out over there. He's running a lot of good old repeat ones right now. It's funny. Some of them I'll listen into and stuff if I'm around the house and I hear I don't know. It's just funny. I'm green. I didn't think I was ever green. Not once did I ever thought I was green. You know what I mean? Previous, hello and welcome. Gigi's in the house. Brandy Sampson, if you ever want some good Ghost Girl merch, reach out to her. She's got some killer designs. I love them. I love my hoodie. I'll tell you that. Let me see. I am just checking on. All right, good. Somebody. All right, cool. So I have everything up. I'm going to try to share everything. Some things I had to share in Google. Other things I can share direct. Pain in the ass. I'm getting better. Only pain in the ass is I think it's just, back to being green, right? I don't know the system that well. We're going to get to know the system. Ernie said, you ever take an accidental screenshot on your phone? So stupid. Get out of there. Ernie's got to do a trash run. All right, we'll have to wait till Ernie gets back, guys. That's my dude right there. As you can see over here, I moved from up there. This is the forensic rendering of Ernie's encounter. And you can see more up top here now. So I'm going to be filling in that window some more, Richie B's Sasquatch Sanctuary, and there'll be more pictures and stuff over here. So you guys can have a full display if you don't want to just look at my mug. You can actually look at my little museum that I have. I'm building a display case in the wall over here where I think all the prints are going to go. I think that's what I'm going to do. Prints and different things, peanut butter jars, stuff like that we've used for our research. So everybody can hear me okay. Everybody can see okay, right? Isn't that light really cool right there? Really brightens things up. Even with a hat, you can see my ugly face. Sorry about that. All right, check it out. Let's go to share screen. Oh, look at that. It's like right there, dudes. That's crazy. That never happens. All right. So my very first gift, and I'll share the story with you. Where am I? All right, here I am. All right, cool. The only thing with this is it doesn't come up on the same screen, but they're HEICs, and I don't know how to transfer them over to JPEGs, which my producer is working on, Miss Sam. She hasn't been feeling well, so let's say a little prayer for Sam, okay? So this right here, I mean, obviously everybody knows what that is, right? If you just came in, please hit the like button. I see 8 likes, 10 people. Let's get those like buttons going. A couple of emojis. Super chat is always open. All that good stuff. So here, I'm going to hit some emojis. Everybody can hear me okay, right? There we go. Yep. All right, you heard me then. All right, good. All right, I got a bunch of hearts going. So these are for Sam. She's a gift to the world. So, all right, cool. So everybody knows what this is, right? This is what my story is so wild, because if ever, say a forest person, right? Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or whatever you want to call it. Thanks, Kurt. Was to give you something so you knew it was a forest person, is a piece of lichen. That is a piece of lichen. Now, you see the wood that it's on. That is a stump. That was a tree was cut down on my property, inside my fence, where I had that encounter with the video. I said, come on, where you at? Which we're going to break down in a little while. Well, before that incident, long before that, that was my gifting stump. When things started getting pretty wild, I reached out. Finally, someone got back to me that knew a little bit of something. And I asked him, hey, what do I do? And he says, I highly recommend you start a gifting stump and become friends and let them know that you're kind and, that you're not a threat. I said, well, for me, I'm like, what are you talking about? They're the threat, I was freaked out. And so anyways, that's what I did. So I went out there. I grabbed the things I loved the most for a snack. That's all I could think of. And that was oatmeal raisin cookies. So I take my oatmeal raisin cookies. I put them on the stump. I announced to the woods. I'm sure my neighbor was pulling his shades. Hey, these are my favorite cookies. I'm going to leave them right here on this stump. Well, I figured what I would do. Which one's this? Excellent. What's this? This tab's content is being shared. Oh, okay. This one here. All right. So this one here. So I figured what I would do is try to mock anything I could, right? I'm a novice. I'm trying to figure things out. So let me stop sharing that. Go over here. So what I did was, it doesn't let you share directly from here. So I have to go into it. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So I figured what I do was, to get rid of the critters, right? Or eliminate maybe some of the critters, right? From messing with things. That's the same thing, you dumbass. All right, how about we do this? Stop sharing. What is this one? That's number 2. So I'm gonna X out of that and go to that. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'll get more rhythm as I go. All right, here we go. So I figured what I would do was trying to figure anything out. I've never been here before. You know what I mean? So I take the 2 little saplings that you see and I place them on either side of the cookies. I figure if a squirrel got up there, he would knock the sapling. A bird was hopping around, they would move the saplings, right? Ernie's on it, he heard me. So he would move the saplings. So I just put, the branches. So I just put them there, thinking that a squirrel, a bird, any kind of whatever would move these. So I had the before pictures with the cookies on it, which I can't find to this day. But and that's what I did. So a couple of days go by and my cookies aren't gone, but nothing's touched my cookies. Now, mind you, as a rational thinker, I'm standing there going, well, why hasn't some other animal touched my cookies? You know what I mean? It makes no sense. So, which till this day I think is wild. You know what I mean? Because we do all kinds of things in the gift and share. Nothing's ever touched, man. Not until the big guy says so, I think. You know what I mean? So it's pretty wild. But so we were watching. I was watching, looking at this, and I'm going, it doesn't make any sense, So I yell out to the woods, hey, those are my favorite cookies I'm giving up to you, man. I don't want them now. They've been sitting here for days. And I'm just talking to the woods. I go back inside. I'm disappointed, because I work all day and that's on your mind. You're like, oh, I can't wait to check out that gift and stump. It's right inside my fence. It's up against the fence. You just got to reach over and, that's what I was thinking. So the next day after saying that, I come back out after work. I go in the morning, nothing. I go to work. It must have been during the day. It had to have been. See, revelations, right? I come back and the cookies are gone, but there's no gift. So now I'm like, whoa. There's not a trace of the cookies, not a wrapper, not a crumb, nothing. I'm all around looking around for anything at all, right? Yeah, right. So there's nothing. The cookies are just gone. So I'm like, I go inside. I'm like, hey, anybody touch those cookies? They're like, yeah, whatever, weirdo. We did, we know what you're doing. We're not going to touch your Bigfoot cookies. So whatever. I had to cover every base. So I go back out. Nothing. There's no gifts. So I'm like, hey, you took my cookies. You didn't leave me nothing, dude. Yelling out to the woods again. I did this on a regular basis. My neighbor must have been like, what? Because he's one side is pretty close to me. The other one's way off. But so I give him my speech, a little rant. Where's my gift, yo? So I go. It was like 2 days later, I think. I come back disappointed. I don't yell anything in the woods that day. I'm like, well, I guess that didn't work. I come back next day, and this piece of lichen is sitting right between these saplings, right? Now, I'm sitting here kind of frozen. I got a chill comes over my body. I look down. I'm looking at the saplings. I'm looking at the picture. Nothing's moved. I decide to pick up the piece of lichen. I flip it over. It's black on the backside, which is, to me, it came off a tree. So I'm like, wait, how do you peel a perfectly piece of lichen? Wait, and then I'm like, wait, all right, peel. And then I'm like, wait, the wind couldn't have put that here. How would that thing be in the wind and land right between these saplings? There's just no way. So I'm only bringing you back to the novice thinking, the rational side of the brain. where I'm looking at this going, all these little things I'm about to show you come together and equal that event. So I'm like, you got to be shitting me. There's no way. I mean, and then I'm thinking, well, if something lives in the wilderness and it brings me a wilderness gift, like a piece of lichen, man, that's like mind blowing. So I get a bag, I pick it up, I put it in the bag, and it's a Ziploc, whatever, his sandwich bag. So I start yelling back out to the woods, thank you so much, thank you so much. Like I could not believe, after going through all the rational thinking in my head, after sitting there staring at the stump, it came down to it that there's no possible way this piece of, paperweight type, particle landed there facing up in between the saplings. It was my gift. That's the only thing I could do with my rational side of my thinking was going, this is my gift. So I kept it, and eventually it crumbled, but I have it in a Ziploc bag. But I couldn't believe it. So I'm yelling out to Woods, thank you so much for that, and I knew I had been gifted for the first time. I knew I had been gifted, and it was wild. So I did it again. I don't have the pictures up, but I did it again. And this time I did it. It was around April because I was after Easter, because there was Easter candy, those little orange M&Ms that look like a carrot. They put them in a bag. I left a bag of those out there. Again, same thing went on. I come back, and there's this nut in half laying between the saplings. And the nut is kind of shaped like a heart. Oh, you know what? I actually have those. Hang on. I don't know if you can see them from there. Maybe not. I'll walk it up. Hang on. So that's so those are face up. They're on the backs. So it almost looks like hearts, right? So I'm like, all right, well, maybe a squirrel did that, but my candy's gone. Well, I'm going to tell you, honest to God, I was out there researching over and over again. I went looking everywhere on my property and into the conservation area. It's about 94 acres altogether. There's a conservation and a preserve. So they connect. And then there's my property that dog likes. And I couldn't find that nut anywhere. Anywhere. Anytime I was researching, I was always looking for those. Couldn't find them. 2.5 years after this event, we're out at the Taunton River. This area has it's called the Taunton River. And those nuts those nuts laying on the shore, broken open. And the fellow researcher I was with, he goes, hey, check these out. And we're in this really odd spot. And I start freaking out, jumping up and down. He's like, what? I said, those are those nuts, man. I haven't seen it 2.5 years, dude. And I explained the whole story to him. So those are my two gifts at that gift and stump that I did. I didn't do a lot of gifting then. I just, like I said, I tried it to see. It worked. I felt like I was dealing with something intelligent. It was quite wild. Benno, what's up, man? How you doing? So yeah, we were able to get into that. Here, let me see it. I think I can zoom in. That's right. Yeah, so you can see how perfect this lichen is, dude. It's my first gift, Benno. My very first gift was a piece of lichen. And you could see it, man. It's perfect, right? But yeah, so that was wild. And then the other thing that happened after that, let me see, is I'm gonna share this one. Hang on. I started coming out and noticing. Let me see if I can get the video up. Where is it? Nope, on the above. Damn it. Okay. Let's see. I think it's this one. Yeah. Let me pause that and see if it'll allow me to share. How do I do that? Oh, Where am I? Oh. All right. Allow you to share it. So I started looking around. I started noticing different things. One of the things I started noticing was, now I labeled everything, right? Stuck in the ground with vines. Is this a video? Oh, man. Slow-mo black and white. All right. We'll do this. Yeah. So one thing I start noticing, and it might seem ridiculous to people, but it's wintertime. And I have trees in my yard, obviously. I have these types of trees in my yard, obviously. There's no window, nothing. The ground's frozen. You'll see my junky yard in a few minutes if I can get that video to share. And I go out. I'm working on one of my power washers. I figured, let me work on the power washer, something to do. So I put the power washer back. It got cold. I went in my trail. I had a little trailer in my backyard that I used as an office. So I go in there, get warm, play some video games. I think I played some Black Ops 2, the best game ever made, PS3. Anyway, so I go in there, I do that for a little while, come back out. I haven't had wind or nothing. I don't even understand how it got there. I didn't hear nothing, anything. Now, I've had events in this camper where things were thrown at it, stuff like that. But this was different, man. This was weird. So let me zoom in on it. That one can go because we already went through it. Okay. So check it out. No, that's not. Here it is. Is that zooming in for you guys? There we go. So I look at this thing, and it's a stick. I don't know if anybody's had this phenomenon before. I've heard other people talk about it, and a lot of people shit on it. But I want you to put all this together. This is the point. I'm trying to draw you guys. I'm trying to put the puzzle together for you visually with what I have and, verbally. And I'm looking at this thing going, that doesn't make sense. Because if you can see it, it's small. There's no way. Always be the greatest game, right, Tyler? There's no way this thing's stuck in the ground. There's just no way. The ground's frozen. It's almost like permafrost out there. So I was pretty freaked out. So then I start looking at it closer. Then I looked at it a little bit closer, and I noticed something. Right? I noticed this. You see where those arrows are pointing? You see it's blurry, but you see that little like this thing that goes across it right here? That's a vine. So that's a vine. So I start looking around. And again, I probably have the picture somewhere. I don't know. Over by my fence, at this point, that's about 40 yards away. What? Black screen? Are we serious? Anybody else got black screen? No. Oh, it's back. Okay. I think it takes a minute to kick in when I'm going through the Google Drive for some reason. And again, these are ATICs, not JPEGs, so I couldn't just pull them up. Yeah, okay, yeah. It's going to take a sec. We'll get used to it. All of us will learn as we go, I guess. But that thing that I'm pointing to is a vine. I remembered seeing that vine on some of the trees that are overhanging my fence. So I go over there, and it's broken off one of these like stick bushes. It's not even a tree, really. So I'm like, oh, my God, what the hell's that? So I matched the vine up to the stick. So now I'm going, all right, what is going on? You know what I mean? Like, this is wild. Let me see if it, oh, here it is here. I don't know if it'll let me share this. Hang on a minute. I hope it does because I had the other one ready to go. No. So stop sharing there. So this is what I'm going through in my head, right? No. That can go away. Oh, window. Ah! There we go. I know. You're going to listen to my stupidity. And my yard was shitty. But it was winter and I didn't give a shit. So, here we go. Oh, why can't I get back in to here? Oh, I know what I can do. You can see, you can hear. So when I pull it out of there, it's like almost frozen. Yeah, you see it? You can hear it breaking through. It's got no weight to it. Now I would find these periodically, and you can see too that you can almost tell it came off like a bush tree, not like a tree, right? It doesn't have all the knots and things on it that a regular tree does, right? Um, I know I sound crazy, right? I felt crazy, right? I felt crazy. That's my backyard. That's where we have the bluff charge, by the way. And there's the fire pit area I'd talk about. Look at. You could tell that. See the sticks. Thank you, Ernie. Look at that. But I kept finding these. I would wake up in the morning and I go to work. This is where I kept all my stuff, even when I wasn't sharing the house and everything. And I would come over and I would find these. And there'd be no wind or nothing. And there's no wind there. You can tell there's no wind. And so now what I want, oh God, what happened? Oh, it's me. So what I want you to do is I want you to start drawing that big picture that I'm talking about. The gift, the like it. Now, stuff like this starts replaying the gifting thing in my head, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm drawing this map to these situations that are all connected. So, and that's what I'm trying to do, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. And when you have these situations, don't be afraid to think out of the box, right? And don't be afraid to be like, don't just shrug it off. Research it. Go find out. So now, mind you, so now I'm like, all right, I got to get a game camera out there, right? Because that's the first thing people think of, right? As I said, no, it had no weight to it, man. And I've taken sticks and just thrown as hard as I can at the compost, and they just boom, boom, fall over. And that one, I didn't even bother testing it. There was no way that little thing fell from 200 feet and just stuck. And I know momentum. I get all that science, all that garbage. It just wasn't possible to me, So it's just not something that naturally occurred. I don't believe. And if you're out there, and I hear a lot of people talking about these, and then you got the guy that comes on, oh, stick stuck in the ground, huh? Well, you don't know the context. People don't know that there's a gifting stump, 100 feet away with a piece of lichen on it after the cookies and the whole story, right? They don't know that, right? What's up, Mooncat? Yeah, they don't know that. So you put it together, and that's where your story starts to come to life. You know what I mean? They're creating the story for you. You're not creating shit, and that's the difference. So I put up the game camera. I'm going out there. This is when I know the first time I was flanked. It took a second to register. What am I hearing behind me? Because I know if a deer is out there and I startle it, the deer's running. The deer's not going to stop, not going to listen, not going to look at me. I've had a few frozen deer in my time, not in my area. This is an area. I've been to places where the deer just roams everywhere. Pennsylvania is one of them. And they will kind of stop if they're used to that human activity. Not where we're located. This is an area that they are not used to human activity. I've had coyotes out there, fox out there, fisher cat out there, possums, raccoons, turkeys, various different fowl on the ground. And they move. When you come out there, they run. That's it. And you can hear them. Whatever they do, right? Depending on the animal. So I go out there and I hear this crunch, and then it stops. And I'm turned like this to my game camera. I hear it, and I kind of freeze. Now, you have to keep in mind who I am. I left home at 14. I lived on the streets. That's the reality of it. That's not a made up story. That was my reality. My ears are very prone to survival. I have to know everything about a room that I walk into. I have to know who's dealing the drugs, who's sleeping with who's the fighter, who's not the fighter. Like I got to know every nook and cranny of my surroundings in order to survive. It was ingrained in me. So when I hear something, I'm breaking it down in my head what I heard. So I hear that crunch, things go still. That is if I'm here, he was there. And then I heard another crunch over here, two of them. And then I said, well, what's the likelihood of a wild animal, not one, but now two of them, not just running off? This is processes in my head as I'm going for the SD card. So I get the SD card and I heard movement again. But this time, this guy, so if I'm standing like this guy's here, this guy's here. So as I turn, shoulders, always shoulders. He's here, he's here. And I froze. And I'm looking back and forth. And I just don't know what made me do it. Came out of my mouth. I go, I can hear you. You know that I can hear you moving, right? I said, I got goosebumps. Look at this. Woo, woo. I love it. I go, I can hear you. You know I can hear you, right? And then I hear one little bit of subtleties over here, a little like he just resettled. I always call it like not subtleties, but settling. So they kind of get into an area, they hunch down, and then they kind of wiggle a little bit. And whatever's under their feet kind of moves. It's that kind of sound. And I'm standing there going, you know, I can hear you. And I said, listen, I'm not here to start any problems. I said, I just put this out here so I could see who was out here, you know. I don't mean to offend anyone, you know what I mean? I said, you know, I'm peaceful. And I put my hands up. I said, I'm peaceful. I said, I don't carry any weapons, nothing, you know, and I'm just talking to the woods, man. And again, comes back to that survival mode because I know there's two subjects right here. And I got my hands up and I said, I'm going to head back to my yard. I said, and I don't want any problems. I said, you live here, I live there. We can live together. It's okay. I won't bother you. You don't bother me. So I start stepping backwards and I heard a crunch to my left. And I said, okay, don't move. Please don't move no more. All right. Because I'm backing up. I'm trying to be fair. This is what I'm saying to the woods. I got my hands up and I back out and I get about halfway down the game trail. And then I turn. I don't run. I just walk and I wait. I turn around and I wave. I go, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Just like I would any and I don't know what it was. It was natural instinct for me to do that. It wasn't about, you'll hear the recording when I first heard the noise when I got growled at. You'll hear the recording. I kind of snap at him like, this is my land. You're going to respect it. And I was so frightened at that moment that our instincts kick into where we got to kind of claim our spot. And that was as abrupt as I've ever gotten, which I'll play for you in a little bit. But I was like very naturally calm. I had a lot of fear, but the calmness came out, maybe to survive and get out of a situation that I thought might end up harming me, right? So natural defense mechanism, perhaps, survival mechanism, I don't know. So I back out. I got my SD card and whatever. I put it down. A couple of days go by, nothing. And I'm like, well, I got to get that SD card back out to the camera. I should check it out before I do that. So I load it up. And it's on these saplings, and it's at the end of the game trail. So if you enter the game trail area, you kind of have to come not directly by, but it covers a good amount of space. So I look at it, and I'm going, I wonder what the hell that is. So I zoom in and look at it, and I start thinking these thoughts, and I'm like, oh, dude, no way. So I go about my business. Time goes by. I kind of shuffle it down into the archives. I don't think much of it. Years later, when I'm, full-blown research, and I go back to it, and I said, let me check it out now that I know more, Kurt, it was just natural for me to do that. And I can't tell you to this day why. I think it's just, that's who I am. But, you know, I would encourage anybody out there going through incidences and, experiences like this. It worked for me to where now you see what's happening in my life, right? I think if I'm out there waving a gun, swearing, yelling, what the fuck, I think it goes different for people that do that. You know what I mean? And to me, that's the God's honest truth. And that's when that incident happened, they settled down. I walked out, they let me, it was my first touch of fear and my first touch of intelligence, not just with a stick and stuff like that, but a different type of intelligence. I felt like they heard me. I felt like they understood me. And I remember going out, how do they know what I was saying? You know what I mean? And that was one of the things. Like, how do they know what I was saying? So I go back anyway. So I'm reviewing this a while later, and it's kind of fast forward. I'll come back to it. I'll even share the incident of when I heard them talking to one another, which is very wild. And I was with two other researchers. One was with that 4-letter word, the 4 letters that I don't like these days, and I won't repeat. But the first letter starts with the same letter in balls, as in kiss mine. So I look at it, and this is what I see. All right. Hey, Michelle Wilfong, thank you for stopping by. Just started work. Coffee is fine. Thanks, bro. Good. Hope you're enjoying work today over there in Australia, my brother. Let's see. So, all right. There it is. Let's take a look at this one. I think I got 2 versions. Yeah, it's slight variations, I think, really. So, yeah, I'm going to share this with you. So, I'm looking at it, and you can see this is 2000. I don't even know if the dates are right, honestly. Don't go by that. I'm terrible at that, but I think I had the clock right. Yeah, November. I can't even see what that says. Let me go back. 18. So that's 8 years ago. So, yeah. So that's when it was taken. So then it started in 15, 16. So yeah. So a couple of years into my research, right? So I start looking at this picture. Where am I? Oh. And I'm wondering what this is over here in this and this. I don't see any deer. I don't see any eye shine. I don't understand what set the motion off. You know what I mean? The trigger. So I'm not really sure what's going on here, So yeah, it is crazy to say that. And again, the dates might not be, honestly, I was more of the time and stuff. I'm terrible at setting stuff like that. And I really shouldn't be. Like even my GoPro, when I'm out, I document it differently. I'm old school, so I write it down, right? So this is on my game camera. I don't know why I got triggered. So I start looking at it closer. I start studying because at the time the primate thing is true, but like gorillas and stuff, right? Orangutans, they don't have a medulla in the middle of their hair. So I start thinking to myself, did I get like an X-ray shot because of the IR and the light flashed and all that? Of possibly something reaching around my tree and triggering my game camera, right? The professor. Thank you, Benno. You rock, dude. Super chat is always open, my friends. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's outstanding. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're trying to climb, and you got to have that. The thing about this to me is at a certain point, things started steamrolling out there. Yes. No. Didn't happen quickly, but over time, and more things happened. I'd be surprised now if nothing happened. You're right. And I think that's because of the time put in. A lot of these things had gaps, right, D-Hoot? Great point, as usual. It had gaps where I wasn't out in the woods a lot. I was by myself. This is all to myself. This is not sharing with people. I'm not asking people this stuff. I recorded the sticks in the ground for me. I kept this stuff for me for later on down the road, just in case it became to where I am today, right? So that's where I'm at. So then I start looking at this picture. Now, one thing I notice as I ride up the let me see which one it is. It's this here. So this is the more prominent one. So I ride up here. Now right here and right here, you could see the bushes coming through, right? Like almost like leaves, right? So I'm riding up the edge, but I get up to here. And then I get here. And I start looking at this. And that's frayed. That's fraying. This is a tree behind it. I'm not sure about this one, but this one goes this way. See it? So then I start looking. I'm like over here going, what is that? So over here, you see this little extra hang. Now, where's this coming from? Where is it? This isn't an orb. These aren't orbs shooting through, right? That's a solid object of some kind. So I'm really looking at the edges of it, and I start noticing these lines here where, to me, they're fraying, right? You see them in here, kind of fraying, right? Now, down here, like I said, I think it's see-through more, and you see the bushes, and it can fool you. Don't let it fool you. But up here, like right here, I don't know if that's a stick or that's a stick. But this area here is in question to me. So I come up the edge, but look at it. See how it's all solid here? But then you start seeing it break up. It doesn't stay solid and just go into the darkness or disappear. It actually has a little bit of fraying. So now I'm going, oh my God, is that here? So here's the other one. Get it? So then I go, I'm looking around. Now they look very similar, but this one's a little bit more. Look at this. See the shape of it? See how it's shaped like that? And then you come up here, and now you can see it even more. And now you can see it down here. Not over here, not the pixelation, not the branches. Go right to the middle where it has no medulla, by the way. And you come here to the edge, and you walk the edge. Now look how white this line is. It's like defining whatever it is. See the white? See how white that white line? You see it? Pull one of your hairs out and put it under a microscope. You're going to see that framework that they on the hair. I'm not an expert. I'm not into forensics, but with my research that's been done since finding this, I know that there's a wall on our follicles, and that looks like a wall on a follicle. And it makes sense if it's like this around the tree and it reaches around the camera and pulls its arm back, kind of boom, trigger it, right? Boom. Imagine the motion of having all that hair, that it would come out like that. You say, oh, where are all the other hairs? I don't know. I'm not a Bigfoot, but I can say this. You can trigger it. It would have to probably be on the way back. So if I'm coming forward, all that hair comes down. But if I'm pulling back, a lot of that hair is gone, and there's a few stragglers hanging as I'm pulling away. Think about that. Think of the motion that I'm seeing in my head. Think of that. So as it's leaving the camera sight, you get these three. Yeah, so hey, what's up, Andy? Nah, you're not late, brother. Miss you, Andy. Does everybody see what I'm saying on that? And I'm not trying to sell anybody on anything. I'm just telling you again, put it together. The gift and stump, the stick in the ground. Now this, you know what I mean? You start looking at these things, right? You start putting these things together. Oh, Brandy Sampson, I didn't see that. Thank you so much, Brandy. Thank you. Yes. Stickers are good, people. Stickers and super chats. Yeah, that helps. I don't know why I keep hitting that damn button. It ain't doing anything. So, again, I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I'm telling you my story. I find with the reviews that things were happening back then, but we didn't know exactly what to look for. That's true. Right. Yeah, right. And neither did you. And you guys have evolved with us. You think about that. The lives have really turned it up. Now, mind you, I was told to put that camera down if I ever wanted to see anything. And again, as Bigfoot walked up to me and gave me a high five or had anything like for instance, like Ernie's story, no, it hasn't. And Ernie knows that was happen chance. That was the master of the woods meeting the master of the woods. That's different. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to put all this together. Yeah, no, I like that, D-Hoot. So all these things are going through your head as these events keep happening. So then we arrive at the fire pit you just saw in my messy backyard. Obviously, have to rake it and stuff, Well, that's where I'm raking it that day. And you hear this distinct crunch, right? Anybody have any questions about the hairs before I move on, or what it might be? I want to see it again because I'm just Xing out of things. Yes, it makes sense. I agree. The camera picked it up after it went through. Yeah, it would make sense, right? Because you trigger it, and then he pulls back, and a couple of stragglers might be left behind. And if anybody has anything, split ends, right? So yeah, that's fine. That's great. See, that's good input. And I this is stuff I really haven't. If I have shared it, I can count on one hand that I've shown that picture. Because nowadays it's like a far-fetched piece of evidence, that I don't normally present, but it is part of my story. And I think it's fair to me to be able to tell my story, just like it's fair to everybody to be able to tell their story. And that's why I don't want people shitting on other people, because, this stuff, you look at it. No, it's not Bigfoot looking at me. And that's what everybody seems to want. But you can be a critical thinker and have an open mind and still get places. You can still get places. And I hope I'm a testament to that these little subtleties that I paid attention to, which now I've been told that's why they've opened themselves up to me, because they do these kinds of things to see if you're paying attention, if you're that type of person that they want around, right? If you just neglect them and don't ever look into them, then you'll never know, first of all, right? But if you're not critically thinking along with them, they don't really want to waste their time with you. They might actually scare you and get rid of you. Look at this. This is a show tonight. Thank you, Mooncat. That's so cool. Frequency tuned in. It says, dude, I think that so many things are going on around us all the time, but we might not be tuned. Yeah, and I think I brought that up the other night when we discovered that teepee-like structure. And I mentioned the colors and the hair in like 0.00035% is what we see, or hair, or whatever it is. But you can look at that. There's a whole chart for that, scientifically figured out what the human mind actually picks up with its eyes and what the human mind picks up with its ears. And it's not full blast. Trust me, it's not even close to full blast. We would probably drop dead. It'd be like an overdose of sorts. So the more they've been boots on the ground, the more things have happened. Yes. I mean, look at what is happening now compared to liking on a stump. Hey, that's my first gift. Don't you shit on my first gift. Real example I have had was a semi-transparent face peeking around a door frame in the middle of the day. I think it may have been an alien, tall gray. Interesting. But they're picking up on your frequency. Everything's energy. And that's why I always said, hello, Coley. Everybody check out SNX Radio, Miss Coley. Coley UFO. Wojo and I are going to be guests. Well, no, I asked her about Wojo, but she didn't get back to me. So don't tell her I said that. Hey, Coley, can I bring my co-host on the show tomorrow night? How's that? But no, check her out, man. She's got a lot of good interviews, and people bring all kinds of good stuff to her. So just awesome. Super psyched to be hanging with Coley for sure. You guys should go hang with her too. Benno hangs with her. Kurt hangs with her. Yeah, so if Benno, I, and Kurt are hanging with somebody, you would probably want to be part of that crowd. Kurt's actually co-hosting with her. And at least I don't know how she does it. She has different scheduled co-hosts. But I'm hoping tomorrow night Kurt's going to be the co-host over there. I'd love Kurt to interview me. That'd be fun. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not going to wear pants for that one. Don't worry, Coley. I won't show it. It'll just go without saying. All right. So anyways, Coley interrupted me. Oh, excuse me. Anything else with the possible hair on the game camera before I roll? All right. So we're around the campfire, right? I'm out there by myself. I'm raking. Now, mind you, all this information is just with me, right? I do start talking to guys who work for me. They're friends of mine who work for me. So, hey, you guys want to take a walk in the woods? Just because I needed somebody with me. I would never. I know. I'm just messing with you. So, this event afterwards, I brought this guy I've known since I was like 12 or so, and he happened to work for me. But anyway, so I'm raking around the fire pit, and I'd say about 3/4 of a football field away is the end of the game trail, right? And I didn't get back into doing the SD card to the camera because I got flanked again, blah, blah, blah. So, maybe no, I'll wait for Dave's story. So I'm raking and all of a sudden I hear this loud one pull. It goes just like that. And I'm raking, and I remember looking up to the noise and then seeing the motion. It was like this. And I saw the motion of the tree, and it goes pulled right to the ground. No wind, no nothing. Just one loud snap, and I watched it come down, and I always say 40 miles an hour. I don't know why. That's what comes to mind. Rip to the ground, and I freeze. And I went, oh, my God. Now, I had yes is the answer. Yes. The answer is yes. Yes, I did. Oh, you did reply to me? Or you did hear me? Just write WOJO if it's a go. It will be Kurt and I. Okay. And I can bring my co-host with me? My research partner? We'll just fix him up on a chair and have him. It'll just be like a. Yeah. All right. Good. Thank you so much. All right. Good. Glad we worked that out. Right here live. That's right. We're live on YouTube. We got Coley UFO in the house. We're making deals, everybody. Whoa. What happened? Wow. Sorry. I don't know what happened. All right, Coley, easy. Your energy's messing with my internet. I was perfectly fine. So when that happens, I grab my phone. Now, don't laugh at me what I do. This is when we get into the breakdown of my event of the beginning. This is where I feel I cross over from curious, from having a good idea of what's going on, now watching different documentaries, different shows. I'm trying to learn anything I can. What I believe now is Bigfoot, right? And this is definitely what crosses me over to everything else. Anything I was thinking before is now gone. I'm solely going to be focused on Bigfoot at this point. When I heard that tree come down, heard that snap and watched that tree come down, I was sold 100%. All right. Oh my God. Whoa. There's a back end. Okay, guys. You guys should text. All right. So here we go. So here is the tree that I find that is down. Okay. You'll see the area. Snap tree, that's pulled one. Possible. No, that one I already got. Snap tree 1, 2. Okay, there we go. Yeah. No, that's not it, Richard. Oh, you did it backwards. There it is. All right, here we go. So this is just at the end of my game trail on the backside of my clearing. The 40-foot X that you guys know of was off to the left right here. The deeper woods that the granola people built the trail is straight in front of where this thing is basically pointing. That's the tree that got snapped that I saw come down. And I'll zoom in, and I got some close-ups for you too. Look at that. Look at that. Fresh as a daisy. Right? Always watch the stuff on the ground too around it, by the way. Just saying. You guys see that tree, man? Everybody sees it? Oh my God. So this is the tree that I heard snap, raking, go to the sound with my eyes, and the motion catches my eyes. So I'm like this, and I freeze. So what? How is it dark for some people? What do you mean dark? Hang on a minute. Everybody see that? Oh, yeah. It takes a few seconds for some reason. I don't know why. These are HEIC photos. They're not JPEG, so I can't. I have to make them JPEGs. Whatever. I'll get better. But so I have to share through Google Drive. So whatever time it takes for them two to talk to each other is the time it takes for it to focus in, and it depends on what you're on as well. Only one broken too. Good point. Oh yeah, and 100%. And I just saw this come down. Now, I guess I could. I don't know if I can right now. But why do we gotta make it black and white? You guys are difficult today. What is happening? Do I gotta don't make me come over there. Don't make me come over there. No. No, I got Zoom. Rename, move. No. Details. No. Nope. No, I cannot, but I will. I will for you, D Hood. I'll make one black and white. So now, mind you, I heard the snap. So now this is the next day or a couple days, whatever it is. I don't know exactly. I'm not gonna try to speculate now. I could see more in the background. Yeah, I agree. But I brought my coworker out there because now I was nervous, because now I put things together and now I'm figuring out what it is, and it's very tall. Look at it. Now I'm going to estimate at least 8. It's probably closer to 9 feet. Okay. All right. And it's about, I think this one went around about 18 inches around. Okay. So that's what we got there. And then we go, let me get rid of that one. And then I'm going to show you a close up. Let me see which one. I'm going to show you this one first. So this angle, if you notice the trees around it, this is where the area starts looking wild. So this is when I start getting into structures, right? Yeah, no, I got you, pal. That's the one you saw. Yes. Yep. Yes. This is the one. What's up, Unreal Estate Broker? I love that name. You guys all have great names. Let me see which one it is. I'm going to pull up this one first. So there you go. So there's another angle to it. But now look what's going on. Look what's happening in the background. It starts to form. My whole yard's starting to transform. So I start going out and taking photos of the area, like almost in a circle. And I'm collecting my photos. So time goes by and I come back out there. I could compare my photos to the area. So I know when there's a storm, because it's my backyard. I know when there's wind. I know when there's rain. I know when there's snow, because it's my backyard. But look at this thing. And did you notice in the first picture there wasn't a leaf on this thing? There's not one leaf. There's no reason for a sail. There's no wind anyways, but just anybody wants to shit on it. That's another thing that works in my favor. Plus, remember, I heard this thing snap. I watched it come down at about 40 miles an hour. It didn't just get snapped. It got ripped to the ground. All right. It's approximately 9 feet off the ground, approximately 18 inches around. All right. Who are you talking? My interview? It's a shame going because I don't know. Oh, okay. Let's see. David Lusta. That is a break from stress being applied from above the bend by the stress from a tree falling over and pulling it over. Oh. A tree pulled it over? Did you see the other picture before that? David, did you just walk in? I have to find the tree, but there's no trees on it, my friend. There's none. I heard this get snapped and watched it come down. I don't know if you just came in and missed that, but I want to share that just with you before you go any further. I don't want you, I want you to understand what we're talking about if you just came in. That's all, to be fair to you. As long as you're being fair to me. Hey, Susan Ahern, the Happy Medium. Go check out the Happy Medium. Awesome human being. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. So, again, keep in mind, I heard this thing snap in one pull. I looked up and saw it come down. I'm in my backyard raking around a fire pit. There's no wind, no storms, no other trees falling on this tree, nothing like that. I heard it and then saw it. I get my camera out. That's when I start filming and I remember going, oh, come on, I'm finally getting shit done today. And I walk over to my fence and that's when I start filming with my phone. So let's see. Which one's this? Is this? Oh, here it is. So that one's, it's kind of redundant, I guess, in the same sense. Oh, I could have just jumped. Not bad. So here it is again, up close. All right. And as you guys saw, with David coming in, I want to reiterate, this tree is very long. No leaves on it, no sails for the wind, no other trees leaning on it that took it down, nothing. The part that could be correct is it's from above. I'll take that because it would make sense. If you break something, you kind of break it like that. You don't go to the strongest point and try to break it. I don't think it's a two-hand. I think it's a reach up, yank, and pull. Now, keep in mind with this event happening, this again, I start to record, right? So I go out to the wood line, 8 p.m. tomorrow. Richie and co-host, you're welcome to streaming also to your channel. Oh, thank you. It's 8 p.m. tomorrow. Why did I have 6 p.m.? Oh, I don't know. I thought you said Central Time, or is that like a Mountain Time? Something like that. Yeah, that's going to be fun. A lot of fun. I'm putting together a folder just for Coley's show. It's going to include all the lights, what's behind the lights. It's going to include the structures. It's going to include all kinds of fun things. So I'm putting together a special folder for that show, Coley. So you're gonna get to know what me and Mojo and what we do really firsthand. No, that's 9 p.m. tonight. 9 p.m. is tonight on Bigfoot Zone with Daniel Benoit. Tomorrow night is Coley. Richie, Carl is super cool too. Coley knows him. Okay, who's Carl? What did I do? Try to keep up with this. I know I got a lot of appearances this week. And then we have our show Saturday night. And let me tell you a little something about that show. I have Arthur Mills, a little more paranormal. But there's something I discovered about Arthur when I was talking to him. And we're probably going to do some segments at the end of my show where we add on his show. You know what I mean? We add him at the end of my show, like 10-minute blurbs, because what he's doing with the paranormal that he's dealing with is unheard of. And I try to tell him, I'm like, dude, you realize that, you have a gift, right? And he's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Richie, I will open a chat like I did. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Let's have at it. More the merrier. Yeah. I don't get a lot of people. It's funny because I've been on a bunch of shows and a bunch of appearances, and I don't get a lot of people that are like, this guy's nuts, because you actually see this shit because everything's on YouTube live. And all the evidence that you show is, oh, he did? Oh, wait. I'm confused. BMR said he would do what? I'm sorry, guys. I'm in the middle of negotiating. Come on my show or on your show tomorrow? I'm confused. Or both. Hey, sure. Let's all just hang out and get to know each other. That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? Like, let's all just talk. let's just work it out. So anyway, Arthur Mills is my guest Saturday night at 6 p.m. on the Bigfoot Banter with Richie B podcast. My co-host Wojo, 8 p.m. Central Time. Okay. All right. No, I like watching Rob. Yeah, and I don't really watch a lot of people, and not that I'm some kind of asshole. I just, I have a short attention span. I got a lot of ADD, man. Nuts, but it has nothing to do with Bigfoot, right? Yeah, exactly. So, now what I want to see is this one's slow-mo. Let's see if we can share that bad boy. All right. Actually, let's see if we can get regular speed. I think it's this one. Oh, that one. Is this one the video? So, if you don't know, it's a fairly recent story. Because of phone technology, right? Let me exit full screen. All right, let me see if it'll let me. Because of phone technology, I didn't know I had caught something that day, right? Team Richie, sorry. I don't know, dude. You guys got me going everywhere. I'm announcing shows. I'm announcing appearances. I'm telling you my beginning. I'm like so confused. All right. It's hard for me to think that if anyone isn't nuts. Yeah, they have been affected by nuts. Yes, we've all been affected by nuts. I don't know if you realize that. That's actually the beginning. A set of nuts is the beginning. That's why we're all nuts. Yeah. Kurt. Yeah. Yeah, just fill in some blanks, bro. Just fill in some blanks. That's all. Oh, boy. Oh, God. Let's regroup. My mother's in heaven watching. If you guys could smarten up. Oh, yeah, she's crazy anyways. I would say something off the cuff to my mom, and old school Italian, so she always hit me and called me by all 82 of my names. And yeah, that is a whole nother show. You're right. And then she would come back and counter me with something, off the cuff, so to speak, about, like her and her husband. I'd be like, oh boy, okay. Well, you started it, and that would end it, man. You won every time. So yeah. And I love it, man. We got so many cool personalities here. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, Mr. Italiano, right? Assorted nuts, yes. No, it's a lot of fun. So let's see if we can share this video of me trying to. All right, so that's not there. Oh, window. No, I ain't gonna let me. Hang on. Why wouldn't it? What if I went? Oh, I know what I can do. Let me go here. That one was all set up. All right, let's do that. All right. Oh, where's the original? I just had the original up. Hang on a minute. Oh, this guy. Yeah. This is me being freaked out, so don't mind me. All right. Hopefully that'll work out. Oh, there it is. All right, everybody ready? You might want to get out your headphones for this as well. I am going to point out where you actually can see him in the original video. Well, this video is a little cleaned up. But the original video, I couldn't see anything. It could have been because I was freaked out. I had a lot of adrenaline going. I have no idea. It was definitely technology didn't help. I was over Wojo's a couple months ago, whenever it was. I realized I had a new update on my phone. I had new ways of playing with videos and pictures. And lo and behold, I did catch something that day when I got growled at. And now when you hear the growl, it's just like a that comes through the phone. So it's muffled. For me, you will see the distance away I was from them. You will see that it was louder to me to the point where it changed my life. So I want to share that with you guys, right? We had an Italian neighbor when I was a kid. Used to call me Goloson. I think it means big eater. I have some family relatives from Salerno. Oh, me too. Salerno and Palermo. DeSimone is my mother's last name. DeSimone. Desimone. Desimone in America, DeSimone in Italy. Hey, DeSimone. Yeah, refocus. Exactly. Get ready, everybody. I want you to get your headphones on so you can hear this as well. You can hear my stupid talk. I was really freaked out. Now, this is what I spoke about earlier. I was a little bit more abrupt here because of the horrifying power of snapping a tree in one pull I just witnessed, getting ripped to the ground. My energy's flying, and I was going to mute it because I'm embarrassed by it, but whatever. This is what happened, and I can't change that. So, and I'm a full exposure, man. I'm not, you know me, I don't hold back. There's full transparency here. I'm not a gatekeeper. I'll share everything I can with you guys. My last name, Italian, means gluttonous father. What the fuck? Oh, my show. Oh, well, thank you, Coley. That'll be awesome. I can't wait to make that announcement. That's unbelievable. Thank you so much. Looking forward to that. You, Bigfoot Rob, Bigfoot Michigan Rob on the Banter Richie B show. Can you imagine that? Wow, that'll be something else. Bring the energy, right? Let's go. Poof. Let's go. Hope everybody likes hearing that news. Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful for that. Yeah, there's not a lot of people, like I said, that do what I do, that I feel that I can watch and be comfortable, because a lot of times there's some shtick. There's, no offense to them. That's their thing. God bless them. I'll support them either way, as long as they're genuine to themselves and passionate to themselves. I don't have to have the same kind of passion, and we don't have to have matching passion, and if that's what they're doing, I'll 100% respect them, Yeah. And yeah, exactly. And I've been watching the dude, and those are the kind of people I gravitate towards. And I'm grateful for that, because my mom gave me that, and he talks about his mom a lot too. So that kind of stuck out to me, and yeah, so that'll be a lot of fun. Understanding. And when I interview, you guys have seen me interview. It's not always about Bigfoot. I always want to get to know the person, because if the person's talking about this subject, the person matters, right? Doesn't the person matter when you're discussing this? Doesn't the person, that person, I'm telling you, it's just something about it. You got to know who they are. You got to know who they are. You hear it. And again, I go back to Ernie's story a lot, well, yeah, that's what that's what we're talking about. Yes, please. You meet Ernie, and you're out there with him, and you're standing where he stood, and you see his emotions, right? You learn something about the man, the man in the moment, right? And that's important to me, Yeah. Tomorrow night, he said he would come on. Yeah. Okay. I mean, your show tomorrow night, but he said he would come on as your guest. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Coley, send me a message. Send me a message. My ADD is so confused. Woo! Oh my God. Oh, I love you guys. It's so fun. Anyways, yeah, so it's just important to me, to know who we are. You guys know who I am. I'm as real gets. If you ain't figured me out through YouTube Live and on my podcast by now, you got to check yourself. You know what I mean? I tell you what, man, I'm an open book. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and you're going to hear it right here, right now. So we're going to share this window. Let's see. So far, Unreal says something about so far. Oh, I missed it. All right, sorry. All right. So here we go. What if I make it? Does that go full screen for you guys? When that? Oh, where'd it go? There it is. Sometimes we can. Yes, true story. Yeah, I can see it actually come into more color there. Hello, folks. Hope everyone is having a good day. Richie SNX, Brady Kurt. Hey, TKB's in the house, my boy, man. Good to see you. So, as you can see off in the distance to the right is kind of where that tree snapped, right? I have it up on the screen here. We can see it, but not full screen. So even if I go full screen, you cannot see it full screen. You get my point? It's not full screen right now. But go my full screen, can you see it? Because what happens is it blocks out my stage. That's what I'm asking. So when I go full screen, yeah, use Zoom. Okay, you're saying yes. Okay, good. All right, so here we are. All right, we're going full screen. And I'm going to let it play. I can't see what you're saying, though, just so you know. All right, here we go. Headphones on. I believe in this one, it's in the beginning, and I get freaked out. I can see where he is right now. I could never see where he was before. I can see where he is right now. Can you? All right, so look at, you see that little black blip right here? You see that? Right here? Right? And you see this little black shadow down here? I know. It seems crazy, right? But watch. I got more for you. Don't worry. Right there. You hear that little, like that? What the hell? Oh. Close. What are you doing? That's a black screen. Where's my screen? Listen in the end. I go, come on, where you at? He's right here. Right there. Why does it keep doing that, dude? I don't want video extensions or hair extensions, all right? Get away from me. Garbage. Check it out. Now check it out. So I don't know why we skipped. We jumped. Oh, we can do that. I didn't know we could do that. He's right here. Right here. You hear that? Oh my God, I got to catch it in time before that stupidity comes up. Right here. He's standing right here. Okay. So, oh my God, every time I change. All right. So, sorry. When you hear it, it's like, I have it cleaned up on audio. You can hear it better, but that's not the point of the whole thing. The point of the whole thing is the events all go together. You go back to the gift and you go to the sticks, right? You go to the tree coming down. Now you come to this video. This is my beginning. What's up, Vamp? So that's what I'm talking about. Okay. So in this video, he's actually standing there. I don't see him. I'm at the fence. You see the fence at the bottom of the screen? You see the old 50s fence where there's no codes anymore. You can cut yourself and get a tetanus shot. Yeah, that one. You can see it right there. Okay. Now, if you go right here, that he's right there. That's his black shadow. Now you say, oh, okay. Don't worry. I got more video. No, I didn't. So stupid. Can't stand them. One more time, and then we're going to go back. Here it comes. Oh, like that. Now, when you come through the phone, everything gets dumbed down. So when I'm passing through my phone and I'm uploading it to this place and that place, it's going to lose some of its sound. But when I'm there, I hear it clearly, and you can hear me. If I can find the damn original I had. All right, so this one here is in black and white. I'll go zoom. And we'll see if I can find that original of me squawking. Where is he? Okay. So right here. You see this? Right here. Now there's something else here and here. And those are just black dots. I'm not going to get into the pareidolia game with people. Don't worry. I don't do that. And I don't disrespect anybody that does. I don't do it. That's just the way it is. But I did notice movement in the background. But this guy right here, you're going to see up close and personal in a minute. And you're going to see some features that stand out. Right, yeah, conical. You see him? See him right there? Now, this is me figuring out at Wojo's house 6 years after the event, or whatever, almost 8 years or something. I can't remember what video I'm looking at. So he's right up here. He's right here. You see his leg here, right? He's right here. And I'm going to go back just a little bit. Look at see the movement right there? Watch the leg right here. Watch that. See it bend a little, right? You can see it. If I do that, you get almost like it's kicking. All right. Now we let it play. And now we zoomed in. So, and again, here's that leg. Here's that conical shaped head, right? Broad shoulder. A little cut right here, it looks like, as the shoulder comes down into the tricep area, right in here. Just a black feature. And that's it. And then you come back here. Now look at. He's right over here. He's right here. It's still a black feature. That's what blows my mind. Is why is it still a black feature? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. That ain't even playing. Why is it even? All right. Oh, all right. Just stop. All right. So, yeah. So you could see it clearly, right? And I got pictures here. Oh, which one's this? Oh, okay. This one here, I actually have. Why? Oh, it's at the end. That's why. This one here, I slowed down a little bit. All right. And it's black and white because that's what D Hoot likes. All right. Letting the air and the lungs out to post up and watch. Ever see my comment that I put no timestamp in my comment? No, is that in one of my shorts? No. I'll check it out though on YouTube. I ain't been on much today. I've been chasing my 2-year-old Psycho around. Guardian of the Wilds by nature, of course. Yeah, tall, very tall. So, and I got some still shots. Just hold, I got still shots. So, mind you, this is all an event. So, I'm not just trying to show you a video and say, oh, no, look at this black figure with a conical head and big muscles. I'm not trying to say that. I'm saying this was an event where the tree got snapped in one pull, came slamming to the ground. I go over my video. I get that. So, there's 1, 2, 3, and then 6 years, whatever years later, I think it's 6 on this video. Later, we find this figure standing there. And then I go back, I clean up the original. I can actually see the outline, and I know the kind of the distance of where he was. So it's all an event. So you take those 3, 4 things, you put them together. Now you have some, validity to your case, right? So yeah, context. Context is everything, right? So yeah, I will. I'm sorry, Mooncat. I will check it out. Real close to you all, I thought at first. Oh, okay. I believe that, dude. There's been all kinds of shit like that going on lately, Mooncat. Yeah. Going back into things and seeing them, you're like, holy shit, Brandy, gotta fly. God bless, GG. Always. Thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. I'm trying. I'm just trying to hang with you guys and have some fun. I'm one to think of these guys as leaving more paranormal things associated with them than only flesh and blood. You are right on the right trail, my friend. As far as I'm concerned. Nah, 100%. I think that's a clean statement, my man. Slow-mo. Oh, here we go. All right. One occurrence could be a mistake or a coincidence, but all the evidence you have stacked and gathered there has to be that. Yeah, and that's what I try to do. I'm not. Listen, I got better shit to do than play games with everybody. I got shit to do. I got company. I got kids everywhere. I got better shit to do. I'm not just yelling out to the woods because one day, 6 years later, I'm going to show you guys something. I ain't got time for that shit. I ain't got time for that shit. This happened to me. You can draw your own conclusion. I'm presenting it the best way I can, and then you draw it up. Just don't call me a shithead or weirdo. I know what I dealt with. So, that's all I ask for. Just be respectful, right? No big deal. That's all. You think that would be like not a hard thing to ask, but these days, toilet water for you and me. Sorry. Sometimes I just gotta sing. Think about it, Coley. I ain't got time for this shit. Now I'm finding out. I'm touching more on my medium side. And I connecting and understanding when I got it right. You know what I mean? Like looking for certain signs in your body that tell you you're getting it right. I'm learning that level of mediumship. You know what I mean? So there's so many things that come with me that even I can't keep up with me. Like, oh my God, dude, I got so much shit. And and I think Susan, I know she wasn't here long, but Susan has been a great mentor of mine as a medium, and she even said it. You're out here as a researcher looking for physical evidence. Well, guess what? When you're tied up with the physical, you're gonna miss the other stuff. You're gonna miss the stuff that is being told to you or sent to you or connected to you or whatever it might be, the other signs, because you're so caught up in what's in front of you physically. 100%. There's zero doubt in that. I believe that, it does, So let's see, what's Vamp say that may be possible? Did I miss it? Oh, there's a lot of that. Yeah, Vamp. Yeah, there's a lot of that. There is a lot of that, my friend. Vamp, you had to see some of my shows where we have the lights up on the big screen. The 7-foot green. Cole, you seen the 7-foot green screen I got? 7 foot by 8 feet? And I stand in front of it like a weatherman. Yeah, if you guys haven't caught that's something to watch. There's not many, no offense, podcasts that do that. But, I'm just sitting here in my critical thinking mind going, oh, wait a minute. You know what I mean? So thank you so much for that. I do want to go back over. Do you guys remember that Rip Zinger with the fingerprints on it? I think now that I have this new setup, we should definitely go into that. I think we should pull up, maybe next show we'll do like Zinger wrappers and things like that, and peanut butter jars with fingerprints on them now. I think we can really get in there with the way this zooms in and do it. This is like a small green screen, it's pretty. Gianni, how you doing? Grazie. Good to see you. Yes, pay attention. You're right. And I'm learning that, my friend. I've always known that. Don't get me wrong, but I'm learning it in a different angle. I'm learning it from psychics and mediums that are telling me things about me. You know what I mean? That I just neglected. I spoke about this. My show was, came from losing my son. He was stillborn, baby Jack. And he passed a little bit before, but anyway, it's a long story. Either way, he came into my arms and he wasn't breathing. And the passion after losing him just got triggered. And one of the things I chased after that, I always knew that I had this gift, and I chased it at the wrong time. I wanted to get closer to my son through that gift. But the wires were crossed. They were frayed. It wasn't the right time to do that. And I had some things happen that spooked me, and I shut it down. I totally shut it off. And I just went back into the physical evidence and things like that. And now I'm in a good place with my son, Jack, understanding that he's a gift. He's always been a gift, but an extra gift. And I've been told that he's a cherub. And I feel that I communicate and connect with him when I'm in the woods. I do it at home, but out there is different. And if you watch the episode of Denny's Divine Army, he lost his daughter Ella to pediatric cancer, and he was a complete stranger searching for this person for over a year, and that person happened to be me because she was telling him about me, and you can't get any realer than that. I never met the dude. I never met him. I had this instant bond with him. It was very strange, to the point we welcomed into our research area. Comes over me after our first investigation, says, I need to talk to you, man. And he tells me this whole story right outside the research zone as I'm just getting my boots off, and I was shocked and stunned. You got to watch that episode. But anyway, so that's the point I'm trying to make. So now I'm back into it. I'm understanding where I'm at and situational wise. Yes, Jack is a hawk. You're right. This represents him right here. So if you don't know my whole story, it's very important that you do. It'll help you understand that I'm not here trying to bullshit nobody. It's real life. I live this, Ladybug. I live this, and yeah. Everyone, have a wonderful night. Richie, thank you for sharing your testimony with us, a real part of your life. I can't wait to see Michigan Rob on your show. Good guy. Thank you. Thank you, Ernie. I love Ernie's endorsements. Ernie's a great down to earth guy with a plethora of information, as they say, right? Um, bacon and donuts, right? Dude, I haven't ever seen Bigfoot or UFO. Brother has, but I've had my own. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, definitely check us out, man. We'd love to see you around more. And if you go on my YouTube channel, just look around. You're gonna see how real everything is. There's no game plan, man. But no, it's fun, man. Hey, David, have a great night. Where you going, David? Good to see you, David Lester. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your input. And thank you for putting it respectfully. I appreciate that. And guys, listen, we can, and ladies, we can have a discussion. We can have a discussion. Richie, do you think this might have happened instead of what you think? I'm not afraid of that. You can discuss these things with me. That's the beauty of it, right? I'll probably have an answer for you to sway you back here, because ultimately there's only one truth. There's one truth. That's it. It's not because I think it's the truth. There's just one truth. These are events that happened. I documented the best I could as a novice. There's only one. So I'm only going to have one story for you. That's just the way it is. All right, here we go. Let's go to the slow motion black and white YouTube. And man, thank you, man. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Woohoo! Let's go. Guys, get me fired up tonight. Daniel Benoit's in for something. Ha ha! I still got to have another rock star. Whether he gets a load of me. Let's see. All right, cool. Check it out. Here we go. Everybody ready? So I slowed it down. I don't know how it looks. I didn't really test it because I got impatient and couldn't wait that long. This, I think, is one of the originals. But he's a little blip right here. That's it. That's all he is. I'm not saying anything else as far as, try to convince you. But let's see what we see. Tell me if you see any movements or anything. It's a little blurry. It gets pixelated here and there, but whatever. Where you at? What the fuck was that? Hang on. Oh, Coley's taking off. Good night, Coley. Thank you for stopping by. We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody check out SNX. SNX Radio, Coley UFO. Go over and follow her, support her. I love what she's doing. Unbelievable. Tomorrow, Kurt, we have a fantastic show. Oh, yes, we do. Where do you get a load of what I'm bringing? 8 p.m. Central Time. Is that Central Time? No, it's 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm so confused. Is that pool time? I'm confused at what time it is. So what time is it y'all place right now? How's that? Good Lord, man. Oh, I'm a piece, aren't I? I need help. All right, sorry. All right, so slow motion. You can hear my reaction. This is actually the full length. It's coming up on 6:35, so we're gonna roll this. Let's go, guys. Right there. Where you at? Right here. Right. What the fuck was that? Now, you can hear it slow down. You hear that? It actually, when you slow it down, because you get the frequency being picked up, right? Right there. So then if you come over here, I think let's try to go down a little bit less. Hang on. Bear with me. Where you at? Right there. You can actually hear the reverberation in the frequency, and it makes that little pinging sound. Right there. Now look at, I think I see movement out of him right there. Oh yeah, he tilts his shoulder down. Watch.
Fuck was.
You see the movement? His head goes down a little bit right there too.
Fuck was that?
Remember, he's right here.
What the fuck was that?
Now, I don't know how the rest of this looks because I don't. I'm right on him. Yeah, something moved behind over here too. See it? Right here. Yeah, now it's gone. It was all black. Watch behind him, right on there. Right here. Now it's gone. And he's right here. So when I start to move, you get the pixelation.
That growl up.
Slow motion. Yeah, that pixelation sucks. But I go back and I settle it down in a minute, so just bear with it.
You're on my yacht on my land. Respect it.
Yeah, my breathing picking up. Yeah, I just moved right here. The pixelation sucks. So, as you can see, now I thought I saw movement when he growled, when he made it right here. See him? He's right here. So I got some still shots I'll show you. Yeah, he just moved right there.
What the fuck was that?
Watch. Watch him move.
What the fuck was that?
And the leg comes more prominent. Watch the leg area. Right down here.
What the fuck was that?
Watch, start seeing it more. Right there. The whole thing comes in. Just standing there staring at me.
Come pick that growl up.
Oh, so anyways, interesting, right? So you're able to break it down a little bit. Yeah, no whoops there. Yeah, it sounds like a purr, right? But again, to me, without electronics picking it up and feeding it to other people, oh no, it didn't end. 7 o'clock, I'm gonna end because I got my boys in South Carolina. We're gonna play some Fortnite. Deadly with a sniper. Oh my god, I've gotten so good with those things. Anyways, so to me, it sounds like it's like coming right out. But when I heard it on the phone, I was like, what the hell? It just, and then someone told me, the technology will muffle it. I have it in a WavePad where I can enhance it, but I don't like editing stuff. I just feel like I'm not being genuine. All right. So, most outstanding. So yeah. So watch this when you get up. Sounds like you've come to the right. You can see it in the middle. Yes. Yeah. So I see this little dip. Like he's standing there, he's staring at me. Right now, watch. He's not even that far. Let me see what my screen share says. No, we already did that. Oh, I know why. Let me go into the folder. I'll pull this one up. What? No, I don't need it in that. Get out of here, WavePad. I shouldn't have to open Google. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, it should all be in here anyways. Why isn't it showing it? Oh, I know why. I gotta pull that up. All right, so this is what I wanted to show you. All right, so window. Come to my window. All right, check it out. So, I can pull it right in for you right here. So I highlighted where I'm standing, and I highlight where he is. Right now, that day I don't see nothing, man. The window, right? Have we had this on giant screen yet? No. Yeah, maybe I'll do a treat Saturday night and we'll put it on giant screen, or maybe on Coley's show. We'll see what. I think she used StreamYard though. I'm not sure. I don't know what it will let me do. I think I'm going to come in early, Coley, and practice. Maybe we'll throw up the big green screen for your show, and I can be the weatherman and show you the shadow boy over here. But that's the other thing. I guess his hair would be jet black. He just looks like a silhouette. They make themselves into silhouettes. Like what kind of bizarreness is this? In the yellow highlight, you can see it, right? A window to the wall. Let's see. Unreal says, dude, it's a reason why I've come to think often of things that if not existing presently, then they could become nature as, oh, interesting. Yeah. Let's zoom in. So you see where I am at the fence right here. He's standing right here. You can see him better in the yellow. You see that yellow highlight? You can see the leg, the conical head, the shoulder, all that. You see him right here? So I'm right here. He's right there. I don't know what this guy is. What's going on over here? What's happening over here with this dude? And then the other guy. This one I saw move between this tree and this tree. It was just a black dot. I'm not claiming anything special. But here we go. Gets a little pixelated. But yeah, that's where he's standing, right? See this? I got to check this guy out some more. Almost like shadow colored, which makes me think about there, right? At night too. Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying. Anything's possible, right? But anyways, the point of this picture was just to show you the distance, right? That's the distance of what I'm recording at. He's right there. I never saw him looking. I never did. Never saw him. So let's bump out of that. And then we'll go, hey, it's me again. And then I got another one right here. This one. Yeah, here we go. Oh, window. To the window, to the wall. See what people do to my ADD? It's not right. All right. All right. So here we go. So obviously we started cropping and zooming in. Now, you can see the prominent features here, okay? Shadow or not, I don't care. Blurry or not, I don't care. You put all the events together, you got a physical sound coming out, whether it's loud or not. It's a manufactured sound through a vocalization type system with a trachea and a set of lungs. That's what you know, right? So here we go. So you notice here, look at the head. Comes up. It has a little bit of a point on it. You see that? Like this. You got a shoulder here. Comes straight across. Shoulder, right? It's grayed out. Then you come down. Look at, you can see a body in here. And then you come down, you can see a leg in here. Right? So you can see that it's a figure. Right? Look at that. You can see that little cut right here. So you get the ball of the shoulder. You got a little cut, maybe some bicep, tricep, a little working out, right? Think about it. Wild, right? Now you put that together with the events that I just listed. And what brings me up to this event, this is over a couple of years' time, all these different little events, plus all these other things that obviously I didn't put down as evidence. I'd go out and I'd hear a whoop, I'd hear a tree knock. You know, I did all that. I was out with a gentleman who's like the vice president of the New England region for the 4-letter word that I don't use. and an author who was writing a little bit of a book, and I was going to be a chapter in it. I've since asked, I since have not agreed to that. So because of the quality of human, I found out that person I wasn't interested. So I pulled back on that. But we were standing there, and that's when we heard them talking. And that's the crazy thing. That was awesome. I heard them in the woods flanking us the whole time. And I kept going, shh, you guys hear that? And my hearing's crazy. But I could hear movement. And I kept saying it to them. And I kept doing this, and probably a dozen times. And we get back to the yard, and I take the backpack off or whatever. I got my phone in my pocket of my hoodie, and I'm standing there. We're talking. I go, so what do you think? He's like, man, he goes, no, they're definitely here, and I said, you guys couldn't hear any of that movement, huh? And I think it was right at the end of that sentence off to the right, I hear this, like this samurai chatter, but with longer pronunciation. And they had to be no more than like 60, 80 feet away, somewhere in that range. And he was off to my right, just like I had been pointing through the investigation. And we all froze and went like this. And I really wasn't into like filming and video and all that stuff. But I remember reaching for my phone, and just as I'm reaching for my phone, when he got done, the one that left picked up, and he sounded bigger, like he was the boss. So whatever, something like that. And I went like that, and I went, oh my God. I pull my hand out of my pocket thinking, what if they think it's a gun? Will this event stop and I'll never get to experience it? The whole 9 yards is going through my head. He gets done. The one to the right says something back to him. And when he did this time, I associate it with a chest pop, not a tree knock, because I know where he was standing and there was no perfect tree and no perfect stick. So it was more like like that. And then right at the end of that, he picks up and he said something back, big, deep, like kind of giving direction, it seemed like. And then when he got done, he goes like that back to him. And then it all went silent. And I'm looking up at this dude who's supposed to be, the guru. And I'm like, bro, is that the Sierra Sounds? Is that what we're hearing, bro? Are they talking to each other? Like, I'm freaking out. And then he goes, all he said was, I think I know why they're here. And I go, oh, really? I'm waiting for this big epiphany to come shooting out of his gullet. And he looks at me, and goes, they're here because of you. That's what he said. One of the most profound things to this day with my journey was that comment that he made. Oh, see, there it is. See it? Yep, HEIC bullshit. So, yeah, that was pretty wild. You know what I mean? Do I have anything else down here? Which one's this? Get out of here, co-pilot. So we did that one. Oh, okay. Yeah, this one's physically the body. So window to the wall. All right, we'll check this one out and we'll start the wrap. All right, so yeah, so this is like the perfect crop of what I'm seeing that I want to share with you guys, Here's a photo from a night investigation. It looks like something is materializing, perhaps from a portal of uncloaked. 100%. Yeah, that's the rectangle one. That thing's wild. So anyways, that's my event. That's how that happened. Obviously I pulled my video out for a reason. I recorded for a reason. It was a whole event for me. It was obviously life-changing. And then many years later, we find this in the same video with different technology that we were able to pull it out so you guys could see it. And as bright as I go, that shadow stays. You can do all kinds of things and you're still going to see the black. So things like that stand out to me. Right? Things like that stand out to me. When you see stuff like that and you're going and it's still there. Yo, what's up, man? What's up, Graham? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you popping in a lot lately. I heard of animals with hollow hairs. Yeah, that's been a conversation lately. Yep. my dogman experience some question more so than if I had a Bigfoot experience. Yeah, you never know. I'm sure they run along parallel. I'd love to hear that, bro. Reach out to me. Go over to my Bigfoot Banter Richie B Facebook page. There's a messenger in there. You can message me on that. Way easier than anything else. So if you got Facebook, go over and do that. If not, reach out to me in the comments and maybe we can do email or something. But any stories you guys might have, you want to sit down as a guest on my show, as long as, you know, we talk a little bit first. My show is kind of like my baby. So I'm a little cautious with that. Let's try Blue. Oh, look at Blue. You see Blue? That's pretty cool. Blue's cool, right? Vintage. We got film. Look at that one. That one's pretty cool. Hey, what's up, John? God bless you, brother. Right? Deal. You want to see if I can pull up that portal pic? Yeah, you got to be kind of careful with the podcast. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to say anything to anybody else, but I'm cautious with that. Yeah, but look at that. I think that's a pretty cool picture right there, right? Yeah, Gianni. But again, you put it together with all the other facts that of the event that I went through, and it comes up to this, right? Oh, I got a portal pick for you, Graham. Graham likes the portals, huh? So yeah, so that's the guy that we found 6 years later that growled at me. That's him. He's standing right there. He's the one who snapped the tree. He's the one who ripped the tree to the ground. I watched all that stuff happen. And then when you see a figure like this, I put it on an episode of mine called Validation. I hope you guys enjoy that story. I'm going to try to pull up this portal pick real quick, and then we're going to sign off. But I love the open-mindedness. I love the respect. I love you guys letting me share like that. They come in and go. You know what, Mooncat, I'm with you, bro. It's getting wild out here, my man. Here we go. I can go right in. Let me go into my folder here. Let's see. Banter Richie B. Alien folder. That's my life. That's my life. That's my life. Nope, he's not in that one. I think he was on an episode, maybe. Yeah, he might be on an episode. Hang on. Evidence. Hang on, bear with me. I'm looking. Oh, this evidence folder is wild. You guys, this is wild. Every time I open it up, I'm like, oh. Let me go to my episodes. Background evidence. Oh, I think he was on background evidence, actually. Yeah, there he is. There he is. No, I fucking hate you, fucking piece of shit. All right. We're going to go to edit with photos on this guy. All right, this is it. I'm going to leave you with this. This is a present from me to you. Okay? All right, let me pull this up. You guys ready for this? Graham, you still here? Winda! There he is. So, how can you send pics? Oh, John, you're on my Facebook, aren't you? I thought I saw you comment on a Facebook post. The Banter Richie B one. Banter with Richie B on Facebook. Bigfoot Banter Richie B on Facebook. Same logo, everything. Just use the messenger in there. We can talk. Graham, all right, so this here is a picture of what we had was two lights over in the woods. I didn't know they were there. I was like, I'm going to walk to the lights. I'm feeling comfortable. I'm walking. So I go around this tree, and there was these two lights, and I'm like, oh, geez, Bigfoot's here. You know what I mean? So that's what I thought. They were perfectly spaced and everything. Wojo's got it on camera, and he's going, Rich, there's three of them. I go, what are you talking about? There's a set of eyes. You ain't going to have three eyes, you weirdo. Well, he's clicking pictures because that's our system. That's what we do. So he's got the two lights. Now he has a picture of the third light. This is the third light. When we zoomed in on the third light, this is what we zoomed in on. Now, I point out the key to this is not only the shape, it's a perfect rectangle, but look at the border. Look at the border of darkness around it where it seems darker. This guy's coming through. The eyeball here, a little slit. Eyeball here, right? Let's play with the light a little bit, right? Look at that. It's a perfect window. It's to the window. Like Coley's in for some shit tomorrow night, huh? Look at it. I take the contrast out. Look at it. You all with me on this? Yeah, we're always happy to share. Yeah, dude, it's a perfect rectangle, right? And we just thought it was the third light. But look, it looks like he's got like buck teeth or something. Nose here, right? Let me see. I thought there was something that I had where you could see the face better. Oh, maybe it's one of these. We'll try different settings. But this is just into the darkness. These guys all saw it. Yeah. These guys all saw this live, you know, on our YouTube live. If you don't like and subscribe and hit the notify button, you don't get to see this stuff live and happening. Okay? It's mind-blowing, man. Look at it. Look at the shape of it. It's perfect. Whatever window he's crawling through is a perfect rectangle. We have a history of rectangles. Pay attention. Now, there's the border. You see the border? Do you guys see that? This face is crammed in like it's coming out, to me, out of portal. You still see the eye. Maybe I'll take down some. Yeah, there you go. A little intensity. You can take that out, right? Other things I've experienced over the years as well, maybe some of the ones you might have and others, is ghosts, a projection during sleep where I've interacted with another. That's exactly what you're explaining. Yeah, dude. And you have to understand, you know, this is an event. This is an event. This is not just, oh, I took a picture and look what I found. That is not what happened here. There were two lights. A third light showed up. Camera's clicking. We have various pictures of this. And I said, oh my God, dude, that's a perfect rectangle. What is it? And I zoom in and I start seeing, mind blown, right? Oh yeah. Yeah. When we're leaving, dude. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. They like to say good night to us. Them and all their friends. Look at that. You can see them. We talk about most things here. Yeah, we're wide open, man. Listen, there's no judgment here ever. This is not a shit zone. So if anybody comes in here shitting on anybody, the woman you're talking to right there, D, who's got the quickest trigger finger in the South, you don't mess with her. You were going to wrap it up. Now I have to ask the wife for another hour. No, I'm wrapping it up. I got video games to play. You know what I mean? And then I got to be on a show at 9. So yes, I'm wrapping it up. So yeah, there it is. That is the rectangle. That's pretty wild, right? Oh, man, you're a good dude. We got to get together. I know I owe you. My life got busy. Your life got busy. I didn't see you for a while, dude. Let me see. This is a different. I don't think it's a different. No. Oh my God, why does it keep doing that? Sorry, guys. I'm just yelling at the thing. Edit with photos. Okay. Then I'll come back here real quick and see. I don't think it's any different, but we'll see what it looks like here. I think it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. But look at the shape. Now, I didn't know it, but you know, one thing that stuck out, I was again speaking to Susan Ahern, and you know, everybody imagines portals as all these bright, beautiful lights and swirls and you know, things you see on the old, you know, the old shows or something that they try to make that whirly sound. And she's like, no, it's just space. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, it's just a blank space. She goes, that's not what portals are. And I go, really? You know? And sure enough, it was like maybe 2 nights later, you know, we picked this up. Perfect Perfect rectangle. You can't get any more of a rectangle than that. And you can see the face coming through. The other eye's over here, eyes here. I'd say nose here, cleft right here, and then you got teeth, and then the upper half of the mouth. Yeah, at one point I was like, boy, is that a snake? Like a reptilian? You know? Thank you. Yeah, and the beauty about it is, again, we're live on YouTube. There's no debate here. You know? There's no debate. You know? Yeah, right? There's just no debate when it comes to this. So I got my people right here. They know. They watch this shit. Look at that. Look at the shape. It's like a TV, man. It's like you're watching TV. Is that crazy or what? I love it. My life is nuts. It's weird as shit, ain't it? Oh my God. Yeah, so that's that. That's awesome. Great episode. Listen, I see 20 likes. If you didn't hit the like button when you came in late or whatever, please just hit the like button. These videos are up. If you can go on my YouTube in the comment section and slide it to the left, you'll see the hype button. It's a feature that YouTube uses. If you could just click the hype, that would be awesome. That would help some of the videos get a little bit more notice, things like that. You guys are amazing, man. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. I enjoy doing these little segments. I miss my sidekick, but you know, we're not out in the woods, and this is a way of me keeping the YouTube relevant and sharing my story. And you know, that's kind of, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I'm full on with the like button, bro. We always have fun here. We're always open-minded here. Nobody's being disrespectful ever. You got a story to tell. You could tell here. This is a safe space, man. We don't deal with anybody's negative bullshit, period. If you saw a Bigfoot with 30 legs, then you saw a Bigfoot with 30 legs, but let's have a conversation about it, you know? Doesn't mean everybody has to believe you. It just means that they should be respectful to what you saw, okay? That's the way I look at it. That's the way we do things around here. Good. Get to work, Tobin. I appreciate it. Yeah, there you go. I see 5 more. So thank you all for being here tonight, this evening, whatever it is, wherever you are, afternoon. D. Hoot and Kurt and Graham, good to see your face. Unreal. Great. Unreal with some unreal participation, by the way. I love seeing that. Watch for these. Hit the notify button because I am going to be doing more of these segments even after we get into the woods. I think it's important to share our story, share my story. You know, in case you're feeling the same thing I did and you don't want to talk. It took me 8 years, man. 8 years I didn't tell my story. 8 years. Like, that is from like research and time, not the other time where I was suspicious, not from 2015 where I was suspicious, 2014 where I heard a noise. That doesn't include all that stuff. I'm talking from when I was like, okay, something's up here. And I dialed in on what it was. You know, that's I kept it to myself, man. You don't have to do that. You know, if you got a story to tell, reach out to me. I won't even tell nobody if you don't want me to tell nobody. We can just talk as human beings, you know. Humans should be good to each other, right? I'll do one for you. Let's go. Leave the cheddar out. Who cares, right? I'll leave the cheddar. At my age, I'm lucky to have here. So when you got a lot of it, you got to show it off. But thank you all for being here tonight. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, YouTube. Hit that notify button. I will be live once again in a couple hours on the Bigfoot. Where am I? Jeepers. I'm so stupid. Why are you so stupid? Bigfoot Zone, ECBRO with Daniel Benoit. He's got a whole panel tonight. Was it Michael Nighthawk, Wojo, myself? I don't know the other names. I know Nikki, Dave, Melissa. That's what I know. But we're going to have a discussion about the Bigfoot world. So make sure you come hang out with us 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight over there. Tomorrow night is Sam's Pretty Paranormal at 9 o'clock, 9 Eastern time. We'll be on with Coley. Oh, my God. We're going to be in trouble, dude. I just realized it coincides with Sam's show. With Coley UFO, 8 Central, 9 Eastern time tomorrow night. Big presentation coming for that show. And then Saturday night, my guest is Arthur Mills. Not just an author, man. I'm telling you, you got to watch this dude's story. He's going to have segments on my show because you guys are going to help him. You guys are going to help him find basically murdered victims. that come to him. So I said too much. It's wild. Just trust me. So make sure you tune in for that. In the meantime, I want you to keep climbing. I love you, baby Jack. I love you, Mama. I see you, Ella. Everybody have a great evening. Hopefully, I'll see you tonight at 9 o'clock over on Daniel Benoit's Bigfoot Zone. Check us out over there. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your respect. And everybody have a good night.